Don't know, say standby language.
Tell God thank you today on Friday, May 8th, 2026, and also the welcome you to the program Money Coffee. Where they meet you live now SNBC FM 99.9 at Freetown, regional station themselves, party station them all about now the country. Money Coffee the product give to you other thing them where they happen all about inside salon. Where they bring out the program today, my name na Ibrahim Samuel and the journal for the program with me complain.
David Agaba family, good morning. Since what is the edition come out from Felix Sandy, we tap Nabo and Felix say the following Oyerishi Stone. Now the program this morning, Fambo, we get for talk to the National Security and Central Intelligence Unit as we already begin for talk to people and concerning the Special Security Service Act. Now, also, we get for talk to the head of the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency as they don't do the 2026 rain season forecast. Waiting this mean for the public, we get for fair notes inside the program. We also go talk to civil society activists, the way they look inside environmental business, the environment alert concerning the way and manner how we salon people then they react to the environment and the Freetown City Council same way so we go talk to them na the program for let we know what themself they do concerning the plenty dirty in the country and also wetin they don dey put in place for address thing dey make it happen during rainy season. All learn together so where we don talk so and plenty other one as we always get for go across the country for the thing wey dey happen or the upline and other side them for make let you know as they happen at the program for meet you add voice send comment to 0341000444 0341000444 you send a text message or you send them to we Facebook live stream page. Farmer for make let you know say we dey use we new Facebook live stream page wey na SLBC 99.9 FM on Facebook Live. SLBC 99.9 FM Facebook Live na there you go continue for the listen and also the watch Morning Coffee Live any side wey dey in case you wan forget a broadcast of the program you go look am through the internet or you do that through Universal Radio 98.9 FM Monday to Friday 8 o'clock na night.
Well, for first story this morning, we dey carry inside Freetown. Outside Salon don make one big program for one important player them na the custom reform and digital trade modernization as the National Revenue Authority and na don hold one 5-day conference for Director General them na custom of the World Custom Organization na West and Central Africa na the region them for make them go talk about security, regional cooperation, and the future for custom and administration na Africa. Esther Esther Susan Esbasi Bidede and police reports together.
The high-level conference bring together custom leader there, policy maker, and international partner there for discuss about technology transformation, border security, anti-smuggling strategies, and regional economic integration across West and Central Africa. When he officially opened the conference, President Julius Maada Bio stressed on the need for smarter custom system then, digital transformation, and stronger regional collaboration for fight against smuggling, secure border there, and make legitimate trade easy all about Africa. The Commissioner of Custom, Tennyson Bio, also described the gathering as strategic opportunity for Salone and other member states there, for later able showcase reform, for later able showcase change, exchange best practice them, and for get rank to regional integration. Ebi also talk say Salone don't make progress for strengthening custom operations them through the enhancement of digital system, modern risk management platform, and reform the way they improve trade facilitation and operational efficiency. The Secretary General na the World Custom Organization be talk say custom administration all about the world they continue for face challenge there from sophisticated smuggling networks, complex supply chains, and involving transnational crimes them. Ibi talk say they will be committed for support member states there through technical assistance, modernization program there, and intelligence sharing idea them. The Minister of Finance, Sheikh Kufan Tamadi Bangura, and the Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, NRA, Geneva Bangura, they also be stressed on the importance of custom change, border security, revenue mobilization, and stronger institution cooperation for protect the country economy and for facilitate trade. As the conference they continue, custom leaders, policy makers, and trade experts all about West and Central Africa, they continue the discussion with key recommendation then where they go put together after the meeting. For Morning Coffee, Esther Suzanette Bassi, the reports.
Well, now after return, we will go inside Kono district. Also, if I remember, say, so will be affected in the end for one bad word and windstorm na gone down town inside Bani Chiefdom na Kono district. They call for urgent support, especially government and other Soyat people. Them local authority to the other side they talk for say they say this incident will be happen by one of the bad disaster them will not happen inside the talk in history, and they say it don't left hundred people them where they don't destroy their host them and say but nearly 1,000 people are right now then displaced and they look outside for sleep and not get thing for eat. This disaster also be happen now one evening time when on Friday 1st May 2026 where we see one powerful breeze where we come together, where we can other parts of the country and sweep the town where it destroy more than 100 hosts them and property them when they say this day over 1,000 millions. When from Kono district, we company Joshua Sapetikoy, we rush for going at the community and police reports together.
Because the town it box up. One owns them at the left side where people they don't go catch there. Chop bay in order for it. They close their all point. Everything will be inside the house, all team point.
The Argentina right now, food no day, they may get rest in the house rain pelang. They close their all rain up pelang. They don't get close. The first on zinc they day, if you walk right now, go see some zinc will be stick out. Now inside pantry they day. No nothing, not the everything well.
The people in the sofa because rain don't soak, all they close them. Everything. What people are not doing no more rain come. Yeah, rain they can heavy one.
One heavy breeze will be blow on Friday, 1st May 2026, been left over 100 ocean poil and destroy beaucoup property, school, markets, na Gandon town, inside Bane Chibdom, na Kono district. The people them, na the town, don't left now no get side for leader aid and safe no get waiting for it. The traditional chiefdom, na Gandon town, Bane Chibdom, say this is the worst disaster wherever don't happen na Gandon town na Bane Chibdom inside Kono district.
Mina Chief Sali Kongwa, she don't speak about it. Disaster actually affect the story. Since in our life, so this no blow for making carry houses and go, but it don't affect the entire Gandon township where it don't carry houses and go about 131 houses.
Almost all the OSEM where the breeze spoil na OSEM where them build with dirty block we not able to withstand the power of the AB breeze. For sake of this incident, hundreds of their residents them don't left now homeless and then they struggle for even get job for it, clothes for wear, inside for sleep, as some of the victim them been get this for say.
Nina Kumba Amadu, within Gandon town, Bane Chibdom. Would they talk to Papa government? Let every April and Gandon Banea. They send chop for we. May send closer. May they April for as they hold them up because we they suffer.
Deputy section chief, Minamne Chief Mbalebi. Mongo. Where the other Tiwe Mona we go the time and home. Well, all side, not to one side. If you check na this one corner there away na Monday, we was pass all side. We declare the proper government. Like put the Bane people there. Now say if you show the bill, you know easy. Chop not the chop the well and they inside the woods. Rain don't soak and they close them. But one well. Now they always sound come you see them the bread and sand. So now you know easy.
SLPP government make it help the people and then people there try to even they cry. Now they vote you in, pull shame away. Let you help Let all my surprise when the help we go help them for me then get them police them back. So 2 years we dey talk to government make it help.
One of the victims them say the disaster not only spoil property them, it same also don't affect the book learning of them picking them.
Picking them they back where they suffer, where the education don't go behind back. Because buko wuti everything point na this source here.
As SABC rush na the community, some pan the people them be the dry, then things them where the water boil. The chief speaker for Bane Chiefdom, Chief Konkua Aliu, been tell SABC say the situation is bad for them people them, as they need urgent humanitarian support from the government in the area of food, sight for sleep, and waiting for well.
This disaster this year worse than any other year where it be not happen. Now Friday the first register here be happen around 7 o'clock. This don't begin blow. People take houses there all over. The houses there where they give me account where they disaster management where they check on about 131 houses. So mass media call me people there. I sensitize them. I tell them because Paramount Chief know they if it make a Canada aid earlier. I sensitize them for slow patient. Lord look to government. Yeah, they big they all we brought them within the overseas or any other side Freetown or with the government we are for me they can wait immediately for me they can rescue.
Inside Gandon town, na Bane Chiefdom, one party them we come out tall. Now that the town look clear, no get boku tick them. We go protect the host them. Any time we be breeze come out. The people them they call on the government and other Soriat organization them for support them inside this Tiranga team. Report for SABC Morning Coffee, Joshua Sapitikoy, Kono District.
We want to thank you to Joseph Sapetiko report from Kono District. We report how the breeze we come this behind and say a sweep 1-0 one Chiefdom na Bani inside Kono District where they say this not the people they call for support from a government and so that organization can help them do with that.
Well, indeed, we self see wetin happen na little because we're not gonna different side of it, but at least we two self see where the rain come. Then there's there so the kind of aware manner how the treat the fever like, and we don't actually know wetin dey begin in terms of rain season, but the one that we get the authority for do that way now the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency then don't pull the seasonal forecast for 2026 for they predict or they look through the system them where they can get to know how the weather get for look like, especially during this raining season. Yeah, so well for there we get an idea about that one day we get at the studio Gabriel Parker we now from the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency now the deputy director and also head of operations na that agency dey, and we will come talk to am quickly and we also have for make you know so we already get inside the studio Dr. PK Moana from the Office of President where we can talk to me about the State Protection Service. But let me talk to Mr. Parker first concerning this weather pattern of forecast where they go out for kind of give family idea of how it's go tell this 2026. Good morning, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, a pleasure for we get you the morning coffee, and it's been very important for the people to understand the weather, especially now where we see sometimes the changes. Say we rain for calm, we not can rain calm, I can look like or something they didn't pass mark. Months that we not for pass mark as to before the changes that we can take place. So when I don't pull do this on a forecast there so for this year. Family will not forget an idea of what we will put together for 2026.
Yes, thank you very much. So, firstly, we finally family will say 9 mandates for all meteorological services in the world. We always strive for produce what we call a seasonal forecast for every season, so that different sectors and they will prepare for the resilience to whatever climate impact will happen. Africa, we get 2 seasons. European country get 4 seasons. So before every season, you need to tell people so they will plan themselves, their businesses, and waiting they happen. But the idea is like they go for cope with whatever change will happen. And the Met Agency for several years, I've been there for 16 years now. Every year, I think for the past 8 years or so, we always issue out seasonal outlook to the public so that they go plan themselves. So other agency, they will plan themselves, put the resources together. And this year, we don't listen our focus in which we try for looking to firstly the temperature, how the place go for warm and cold, because that is very critical for farmers and even for we. We also try for looking to the rainfall go for calm, the rain they can. And again, we look into how it go for look like, and then think of the total into the rain, and we'll put them into two categories. We also look into the breeze, we go for blow, and the breeze go for look like. And then with that also, we look into, for example, waiting at the climate risk, because we look into climate change and climate related risk there. And most of the risks we don't say go for the whether it's going to be flooding and so look into the risks and then we give a kind of a recommendation. So yesterday we launched our journalists them, and we find people not see what do they do? Naturally, say we use the same tool they use all of what's in the world, the UK, the US, the Russia, the Ghana, and others. Because we're part of the UN body, and we have standard operating procedures, and we have standard instrument that they use, and they will go for, of course, we will get for that criteria for the one. We use 30 years daily data set. Imagine 30 years data set. And we know before the war, we only start to get more data from 2021. But now with machine learning, artificial intelligence, we able to recover even a lost data then for page back, and they will do a forecast. In fact, the first way for the forecast for the seasonal outlook, what we'll do, we use data from 1995 to 2025. And within those data sets, we try for training data, like from 1995 to 2024. We go for train them to see whether they perform very well, and then we look into whether I go for predict 2025. We've already 2025 we get data sets because Met agents will get more than 70 stations across the country, rainfall station, scientific station, agricultural stations. And when in predict 2025 properly, and it gives us the confidence, we'll not give the forecast for 2026. And also what we do also, we look into the world class and cause researchers them. We don't give an outlook. For example, they know how when the US, they don't get ready to go up in the globe. They know what forgive what really the app in the country, but they get that global perspective. We use as in a initial condition, what they do. Also, for example, with the 40th century units and we did a jam media perform very well, and then the UK Met Office. And the bigger part of everything is the expert knowledge. A focus can never be called than you the experts, because we know it terrains them. So also is the expert knowledge and agency. So firstly, in fact, when we look into the temperature, like for the entire rainy season, we observe say like for the month of May, June, July, because now we put into three categories. For local take over the average. We get May, June, July, we get June, July, August, and we get July, August, September. We're in the just period. In fact, the July, August, September, now they post most of the risk. Because now whatever really they can, then all they start like a precursor. Think of a try for go inside the swell they get water, so you don't get boku water, they don't come up. Anyway, go inside, then just then call them flooding them. Mm-hmm. So when we look into them, in fact, for the start of the onset of the rain, we will already inside now. Don't forget that warming period. We're already here. If you pitch back, let's say in the 90s, when we're going to school, not so the place of warm like when it's in the right, can forget an intensive rainfall. And even as you go, except when you go into the month of the August, September, you don't forget a cooling period. Well, that cooling period not going to be exactly as it used to be cool before. So then you could use the time say for the temperature across for this 2026, you go for the above normal. So even if you go for cold in the camp, we're not for cold like island, this kind of where we carry gun, we put it called cap like all the things in there. And then also we try for look into the rainfall. And for the rainfall, the first we look into one for see like for the first 3 months into the rainy season, we look into the May, June, July. How the total amount of rainfall go for look like? Because one thing we go for know, we go forget raining days, go forget get a days where we go forget heavy rain. We want to look into the amount, because that amount go for help farmers and for plant, that amount go for help we and we look at that one day, we look into first the past 30 years average. Let's say for the past 30 years, 1995 to 2025, we divide that by 30. Wait like that rainfall day. If I were looking, of course, we know say last year we get normal to above. But this year, for the May, June, July, we go forget below, of course, normal rainfall. Rain go for camp. But that way we put it all together add up. You know, go for look like that go blogger for the past 30 years, we like an average. And when we also look into that, we also try, in fact, this is the first time in the history of Meteorological Agency, we are also try to give a kind of the amount of rainfall. Now we know we don't get machine learning. A lot of instruments are there. But even they tell you, I'll tell you, get instruments, they tell you, if they rain for start the dates. but we get into regime and then the amount. Like the like of Freetown, when I do the Freetown, Putloko, Bombale, Cambia, and then that's of Carine, they go forget rainfall up between 1,340 millimeters to 1,390 millimeters. That's a lot of rain. When you look into the past 30 years, then 10 down and May, June, July, they probably above 2,000 millimeters of rain. So go forget raining days. Bo, of course, then at the midway, when the 1,200 to 1,290, and then the likes of course, the Cornwall, Falaba, other areas, they rainfall go for camp, but you go for the lesser, that which you go for express or filter. We also look into this other segment of the duration when at the June, July, August. We want to look into the rain. In fact, for this one, I will get duration. Places like Freetown, the Potluck, or the Moyamba, Bo, Pujon, Kenema, Kailan, and Kono, then don't forget above average rainfall. So when you add the rainfall, go forget in June, July, August, for the areas a day, the area go for the above the average for the past 30 years. With the other rest of the areas, then they just go forget a kind of like a below about rainfall. So fast forward also and quickly go now to the last part. When at the just period, in fact, I did now mostly all of the matches they happen into the climate incidents. In fact, for the just period, we all know say if this year, for all of the years, now either July or August get the heaviest amounts of rain. But this year also August go for record the highest amounts of rain. Last year and July get the highest amounts of rain when it comes to the total. And all of us in the country for this 2026, for the June, July, August, September, when I normally can cause most of the disaster, we with the, of course, at the tropical regions. Don't forget below average rainfall at the country. And we also try to look into the onset of rain. So the onset of rain, we look into not like the first drop. The first drop now rain for we at the public. But the onset we talk now for the farmers. For farmers, they need to know the rain we will drop within a day, we will reach up to 20 millimeters, or even within 3 days, in which 10 days there's no rainfall. When I will help them, when they plant, the plant will do very well. In fact, I think this is the first time in history of my as a service where we didn't give people a date when for plants, a duration. And for the onset, we observe see places like Mutloko, Kono, Tokolili, Kailan, Rebo, Kenima, Pujon, Bond, and Moyamba. Then don't forget the normal planting season. And normal planting season in meteorology, that is then able for plants between the 11th of April to the 10th of May, which is good for them. They can plant at that time. But other areas there like Bombali, the Cambia, the Carine, the Konadugu, and Falaba, then don't forget the late planting season. And the late planting season, with the experience for the plant, the mid of May until the first week of June. So then I think they will give, of course, to the farmers then for really help them so that they will plant themselves. And within that threshold also, we go into the last part of everything, like when in the camp, the end period of the rain. Of course, for rain will drop until November. But for farmers, they need to know the late planting time we rain go for stop, go for harvest and other things there. And when we look into that, we observe in fact all over the country, except places like Konadugu and Falaba, but all of us then go forget what we call the normal end of the rain for the planting season. So that normal, so you will harvest, you do other things there. And the normal period we look for them is like between October to that of the early of November. That will be the end of the planting season. But what we look for note, we all know see when it comes to planting, it's only true that we rely on the rain-fed agricultural system. But now the climate will be very variable. Rain will come, it will take a lot of dry spell. In fact, at the start of the season, wherein they can go for a long dry spell, the rain will drop today. It will take up to 3, 4, 5, 6 days of rain. And it's happening already. So that go for continue until we go into the middle of the rain. So when they say go for be shorter a bit more. So that's making people need for going into, for example, improve agricultural practices because the rain will go for the year. Then will be that even like how it's so better. The like of Egypt, then they get like salon. That 1,000 millimeters also they get. Egypt, the whole country not just like for 1 month. Egypt, the whole country for a year, he just gets a rain of maybe up to 500. 300. But because the irrigation system very powerful, then you always able for some most of the challenges. But quickly before some, I want people to know which are the risks there. With all of anything there, I will try for a look into the risks also. Waiting not for being the climate risk according particular risks, that they will plan themselves very well. And for no say what was getting risks there, it's still now that to go for plan very, very well. And one of the risks we'll see is the localized flooding and also flash flood. Localized flood is just for example, let me say in a board with or in a Calvaton. Run the gutter the order block, but because rain can maybe they will over. they get a small water. You know, you get a localized. Maybe in one area nobody get flooded, all they get flooded. Mostly it's not caused because you get rain, but sometimes you don't block the waterways and other things. So none of the things of course already, which nothing happen now when they get already start. And another one, we observe to go forget episodic heavy rains. So within the rain season, 10 go forget heavy rainfall. And those heavy rainfall, sorry for the language, is that to go forget rain instead one day go forget more than 20 millimeters. So go forget the heavy rainfall within the raining period. And then also we go forget uneven rainfall distribution across the country. Rain go like Nagori on the center when you go to Waterloo, you know the car. So go forget that uneven. And we see normally cause that one day that imbalances. Because some area gets trees where they serve as a very good way for the rain car. Other side not get trees, you don't cut it up. So the cloud will move in patches. Not that it's carrying a place dark outside the dark, but now because the trees then what they make, so they move in patches. So the rain when they come, the cloud when they get all about of course across the country. And they also look into we observe say don't forget strong wind prevalence. And I very much have discussed about that. And strong wind prevalence normally because into sorry for the language is that we get what they call imbalance in pressure, especially the heat in the vary. Right happen now. Place they want it very, very well, very, very much, and they know that one better. So that imbalances because they get the same heating across. And because of that kind of instability, it causes strong wind where it causes already a lot of stuff better. It will continue, and especially in the month of September, it will be more prevalent because September is the time we see they get more of the imbalances there. And people then are the low pressure areas there, and they don't forget. But I will tell you, once you start organization to say Colony in a hill. Because in meteorology, the hillside is about the pressure. So Freetown and Lungate very low, when 1,100. Then connect up to 900, of course, pressure bar. So then in the mountainous area, and within the mountainous area, of course, then of course, the minerals there, and also the pressure bars, the cosmos of the issue then they. And I already discussed about the temperature imbalances we got for happen across the country. Dry spell go for day, that is within the rain, then you will get better rain. If I know they cancel. And these are all the things that we say we don't try foresee with things.
So Mr. Parker, now Sierra Leone be the most vulnerable countries when it comes to climate change and other related issues. And now you don't bring out some risks that way very, very concerning because no matter these risks get for goods, they don't affect them. We will for a lot of disaster get for happen if I may write because they show us early warning. So is there any mechanism or any kind of preventive adaptation advice that can get to people to really prepare themselves as they ready for this outlook?
Yeah, sure. In fact, I think these are the first approach. Now people on table already, which they expect. These are the risks. And risks, when you act, you minimize them. If you not act, it will become very big and bloated. You don't know for control. So one of the way they would always maybe not start at the higher level. On the higher level, at the government stakeholder side, already there are policies that we have developed. Not only by Met Agency, and the EP, the NDMA, all other agencies within, what we call the National Adaptation Plan. Adaptation in climate change is like, okay, climate change happen, we can plenty, they can plenty. But what we need for do, for we cope. Because you cannot change most of those things. These are the natural effects. And already, that of Benue State already, what each and every institution need for do for we cope. And one of the for the Met Agency is that the obligation is that before the start of every season, before the development season, focus and the risks and recommendation. Even if you give recommendation, other agency, for example, like the NDMA and others, I remember last year, during the last year, even within a day, that will not get angry most light. Most light, the rain cause most light within an hour was 20 millimeters. Last year, getting up to 100 millimeters in an hour. But because so we push people there, it's not outlook. You be still NDMA and other people and partners and SLR, they clean drainages them. Even with the people, they even broke people and host them because they be doing that bad areas there. So that things. So in fact, one of the mitigation aspects also do is we don't engage with the public, community people, then even the people they go, we start to go offline. Where one for temple is enough and let be in swamp areas. If you in an area, because in a swamp area, you will be a whistleblower. Because the moment you be in a swampy areas, already water level they up. So you just need small to make and cause a disaster. That's the one. And then also the land use change. How they use the land. Also all sci-fi for the hill. You know to go build the hill or the foot of the hill. You just cut down trees. All the one they expose you to most of the things there. Of course, disaster management, in fact, what they do is that before ever they respond to disaster, or before if I when they see a drop of rain, be it on a Saturday or Sunday, they call us.
But this is evident now. Just take overlook of the hills,
Yeah.
the slopes, also the foot of the hills, and as builds them in the sea. So which means Sierra Leone as now we prepare for disaster coming.
So yes, so like even with the hills, I could tell you if you go to other part of the world, like the Greece, you go for example, in Rwanda, the hills and the only thing is the proper management. You know how they do your building and try to create a very good system in place. So the only thing we can do is, for example, we give those, of course, risks that was observed, and then also give some recommendations. And most recommendations, put in Falaram, it will help a lot more. For example, when we get inside the monster happen because they've been at the of it, we don't put them there. Even our disaster management agency, wherever the CC is a risk, for example, to disaster, they put them for money. We did that agency for many years. We never had a disaster management agency like that. There was a department and not be robust. But now they are very robust.
A major concern would be because these are hidden secrets, WFP, then focus on the G, then see how we don't lost a huge forest, the reserve don't go, and also don't see how risks is the Guma, because they explain, they say if this continue, the kind of deforestation and other activity towards the environment, though Megan no agree, we will see a situation what happened in Egypt and other countries where we see they say the dam might be affected with a huge sometimes might get a disaster from the dam because they don't build underneath of the dam and the dam. And with this kind of rain, where Dr. was looking for gets heavy, especially August. So the analysis from our listener now is that they fear those living in Freetown, especially those areas, because we don't say how they don't deforest the reserve.
I think, in fact, we need most of them early warning. I would tell you, like the early warning from WFP about the land cover and the country. This is something we've seen already, maybe with the plateau they develop in other areas. It's a very good thing. And that's why whenever we do the early warning, then it gets the necessary to act accordingly.
But not active action, maybe enforcement from government. For instance, because we see moves they make for the demolition, certain areas around the southern day, we see the resistance, and also we see it reached to a time, though maybe the authority number for talk, engaging them in the interviews, we engage them. The demolition can just start. So maybe for certain time they stop. What's that the reason behind?
No,
because the houses that we did, they are not facing.
No, let me tell you something. Normally when we carry the global world for address climate change, the very first thing we look into is the awareness itself. There was a time we tried to write an article around loss and damage. And when we check around the loss and damage, when we do out a survey, people don't even know about climate change and how it affects them. And when you look into the land tenure system as Salon, it's different than the UK. Me, I want to chieftaincy family. So land they say that the children get her, right? You get few business and the government get her. You get one business stakeholder get her. So and because of the mixed system, for trying to control the land issues, it become very difficult. That's one thing also already observed. Not only in Salon, even in sub Africa. But the other one is them. They're very, very much key. But the moment they identify those issues, it helps us to address them. For example, like the Goma Dam, it's not now. It's been before this time where people don't employ at the top of hills, because they want to try for their place for shelter. But when this we don't come onto the authority, we don't see over the past year, even with the current, of course, head of Goma, where they don't try for broke places. In fact, last 2 days ago, we get a meeting where they try for evacuate people in their areas and they try for them. Because me and say, then catchment areas continue for cut down trees. We go for lost most of the water because of evaporation. And already, within the Ministry of Environment and other stakeholder engagements of the FCC and other, they already do the planting of trees within those areas. Even we already understand when we, of course, from the State House or ACC, we have high direction personnel there, where we try to identify the place and look at it, the green belt and other areas there. The government will do a young part of it. Agents don't do a part of it. I would say, like recently, I saw a place of people build even at a swamp area where I report to disaster management, where they will try to stop people there. So one thing we need for us as a public one is, when you see those issues, first alert the authority and then they will act accordingly. And then secondly, you safe way you listen to it. No say enough fine for it being at the foot of hill, and then also being near catchment areas. Because the meant to do that, they expose yourself to the lot of disaster that we don't happen, of course, across the country. And that's more, of course, definitely we get policies. And these are policies we are working to and for try for at least.
So from the forecast, what do you predict for riverine communities? We are in which is the most of the time rise in sea level, it mostly affected from these communities where they live like in riverine. Also look at people living in slums that are very prone, to any kind of disaster or storm where they for appear. So is there any prediction for those communities that are mostly vulnerable to most of these analysis we don't give?
Yeah. So like for the riverine areas, normally you get the hydrological part of it, and maybe we'll try to provide some view based just on the rainfall that comes in. So for the riverine areas, then the one thing is like the moment you have like strong wind, when a strong breeze, the strong breeze they always whenever you have strong wind, they take the water from the ocean and they bring them up to them. And normally for the own side, even periodically, they normally can get a high water, and of course, the volume of water will increase within the month of September. So already, what we can do like before this time around is that we can educate them, because you get the standard, you don't be very close to water. In fact, we use the UN standard very very huge. We are be 500 meters close to water. Anything can happen. But if you are living very close to the place, there's an alternative. We are in maybe get sandbanks, stand. It will protect them very well those areas. It depends on the slope of the water. So these are people like we don't already tell them and also forget a kind of a very good drainage system. The Laka, the Hamilton, these are people who don't engage. But if for no say, then back go for experience, for example, high water area and the water volume go for increase, especially within the just field and the July, August, and September.
All right, I want to take you back, Mr. Parker, now for the farm get a better understanding as to what in owner they find out as a reason or a cause for the change of weather pattern they occur, because year back people say the rain go to some milliliter 2000, then the other year it can on to 1000 something. What did they cause these changes over the years?
So yeah, so the change, now one word, we all know scientifically is climate change, and because and the main cause of like human activities. One is we they cut down trees illicitly, and when they cut down trees, definitely they get a lot of effects in other areas. For example, when they don't cut down trees, because scientifically, like and the sun, we call a long revelation, the sun go for heat, and then they go back. If you get trees with a car, it is most of it is captured by waiting. The leaf of the trees that they use to buy photosynthesis for make their fruits and then go back. We don't cut down the trees. When the sun can, it hit the ground. The water within the ground, it evaporates, so it becomes less. So that's now one of the reasons, because we cut down trees. And another is we call the waste. For example, they get a gas we call the methane and all that. Waste, for example, they want to get more waste, we know they manage them very well. Other countries, developed countries, any developed countries, then they do a very good waste management. For example, the UK, Germany, in fact, then they don't say they put paper, they don't say they put waste in it. We see put inside installation a cover area, and they can do any circular economy. But because the waste them for we can very open up, that gas the way the waste they put, we got to call the ozone layer when a black way they protect you from the sand the way they come. So the way interact with that. When it's after you get more sand where they eat with, and then also even the use of the old vehicles also affect it. But one thing we go for no, it's not only what Skyline is doing, because even the emission we get from Salon, where they cause climate change for we, it be very very low between even the average of it, very low. But because of the climate change now like a cross boundary. Waiting the Apple now, for example, Liberia, and the Guinea and others, they help with because of the atmosphere. Not to say that Salon atmosphere just constant, because all that affect them, they happen with it. Now because of human activities, the waste, the land use and land use changes, they cut down trees, and also the other activities they lead to the emission of the greenhouse gases. And of course, most of the changes. And at that means we get even if you didn't at the peninsula because get trees there, so they get more rain, Now we're at the central part. Because the trees in the ambient temperature, because the moment of course the temperature don't drop and they get the cloud they form when they come. And when the temperature they drop, and then trees them. For example, now you don't cut down the trees them. Already you get heat in the atmosphere. Even if we the carbon form for cold usually, that heat they make it dissipate and they lost. So now because of most of the activities, I think that make even most of the policies then we don't try for put into several things for the that makes it the Ministry of Environment. Several years they go to tree planting, FCC to tree planting. We're receiving private companies they come into carbon credit to they plant trees there. But the idea is for us to plant trees So at least we'll try back for see how we'll get most of them into happy. Or else, if we continue, most of the traditional plants don't do very well. Most of our parents, they are using the traditional planting. They don't know America rice. They don't know the other things there. But we need to forget the race back. Then traditional method of doing things will help a lot more.
Thank you so much, Gabriel Parker, the Deputy Director General and Head of Operations now this Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency, where they educate farmers about the 2026 rainy season forecast, waiting actually farmer need for know and how for prepare for the rainy season, especially talk to the one them where they plant yam na the country. All right, we go can take a short break now and take some commercials. And when we come back, we can talk to Dr. PK Mwana from the Office of the President. We who can talk to we about the State Protection Service in advisor to President and Director of the SPS concerning the National Intelligence and Central Intelligence Act 2025. We will talk about it and we will come back shortly.
The money necessary, the money necessary. You don't ready for win Boku money every day na SLBC radio for just 10 leons? Well, Bomba Mondo with SLBC radio, they are for you. All you need for do now for dial *799 *8#. Enter the amount of tickets there where you want for buy from 1 to 10. After you don't enter the number of tickets there, you will receive one message where will tell you for enter your AfriMoney password. As you enter your password, so you don't get one chance for day part by the draw. And the more tickets you buy, the more chance you get for win. If not orange money you they use, dial the code *799 *8#. Then you enter the amount of tickets where you want for buy from 1 to 10. After that, Orange Money will send you one message where they tell you for dial #144# for confirm how many tickets you want buy. After you don't confirm how many tickets you want buy, you then enter your Orange Money password. From there, you don't get one chance for dinner at the draw. As they pick your number stop at the draw, your money they go one to one at your phone through AfriMoney or Orange Money wallet. Just like that, yes, waste time no they say. You hear me find one direct that you AfriMoney or Orange Money wallet. You don't need for camp SLBC radio for collect your money. Don't forget to for dial *799 *8# and listen to SLBC radio for know if you now one for with daily lucky winner there. With just 10 leons, you get a chance for win Boku money. For more information, you can call with customer care line on 032 033 or 079 300
Doc, we don't twist the channel.
Under the age of 18 the responsible one as terms and conditions apply. Remember say, this raffle will come to Naso, na massive in partnership with Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, they bring and come to
The money necessary, the money necessary. Education is a must, brother. If you don't need a play, you will. Aisatu, I can't catch you. I can't catch me now. Look at you, Biona. Can't catch me now.
Mommy, you know they tire for see them picking them here, they play all time. Like they don't get nothing for do.
Mama, yeah, how for do?
Me young boy picking self be they play all time. But now it look better small.
So what see you do when it change?
And make it begin use learning passport for study.
What's not this learning passport?
Well, learning passport now one app where the Ministry of Basic Education with support from UNICEF don't come with, and it gets past question and answer where they make them easy for we picking them for study and pass exams. Look, now the learning passport me before they use for study and it try small.
Well, this na big opportunity for we picking them. Me self go try get this learning passport so that me bobo go get all the past exam questions and answer the way in need.
Go to Google Play Store now and download the MBSSE learning passport for free. You know they pay anything. Mama, Papa, let we help we picking them. Forget the learning passport
app. By this, we go help for prepare them well for the exams. Use the Learning Passport app today and pass your exam tomorrow.
This message comes from the Ministry of Basic Education with support from UNICEF.
Education na free, na school. Send your picking go, mama. Bloombank Digital Banking don't come for it.
Aissatou, you look stressed so.
Na bank they run go so.
Me sister, go digital.
Digital?
Yes, with Bloombank Digital Banking. Just tap, click, swipe and send money, receive money, check your balance, pay your bills and get quick loans before Jacko cuts your eye.
But Abule fly.
Well, bring your phone.
Not so easy and quick.
Yes, with Bloombank Digital, you can bank with freedom anytime in the world. Your money is safe and secure. Also, you can do business and transfer money instantly by your currency across Africa. Quick one with Colats.
Wow! As from today, call me Aissatou Bloombank Digital.
Aha! Aissatou Bloombank Digital.
Yes, na me name. I dey go tell all me party them for join Bloombank Digital Banking.
Bingo! Waiting you dey wait for. Go ahead and download our digital banking app from Google Play Store and Apple Store or visit any of our branches for further details. For no more, you can visit our website bloombankafrica.com.
No left piano, cause Bloombank Digital they make you bank
with Colats. Bloombank Africa. Let's make it happen.
Comedian faculty, the funeral ambassador. I like for listening to Morning Coffee. Awali said join me. Now SLBC, let we tune to Morning Coffee every morning. The day go right for you. You day go find for you with Morning Coffee. Stay tuned, stay connected.
This na Morning Coffee na SLBC. Unu morning no na Fomex Kalbaton.
Unu morning no na Poyoba na Kalbaton.
Welcome back to the second part of the program where the Morning Coffee they meet you live from Salon Broadcasting Corporation of Freetown with other regional stations that across the country and also the Paddy station with all link all over the country. And remember, say they get we live on Facebook through we SLBC Radio 99.9 FM page, SLBC Radio 99.9 FM. Now a new Facebook page what they use now, and you also get we different sites across the country. Well, as we not telling you now the headlines, say we can talk to advisor to President and Director of the State Protection Service as we get for talk around the National Security and Central Intelligence Act, where yesterday we may get civil society activists and human rights lawyer and also see outside the society there's been pulled this caution need for take place in terms of for before president for sign the act. But then we may also get the ONS to be try for talk around the significance of that side way where they bring some amount of contention. But for all get a better understanding as to waiting they inside this particular act here, so and some and also for clarify some of the concerns them of the people that would always concerning that we get the Dr. PK Moana, so I don't tell you with me now the studio. Good morning, Doctor. Pleasure for get you. Good morning, coffee. All right. So yesterday we don't talk around this act here, so and it was very important for making family get a better understanding from owner with the unity and also with the push for making some aspects of it go all water. So tell family what in this particular act all over there about.
Thank you very much, Shabia. Really, thank you very much for inviting me to. Thank you very much for inviting me to Morning Coffee. So I'll let family understand a couple of things. Number one, this is not a new law. It actually be in existence since 2002. So it only in existence for 24 years. President Ahmed Tidiane after the war, decided to say, you know what, let's do some security sector reforms. And that has really served us very well for the reason he says, since that particular time, we don't really get any big implosion within the security sector, as a matter of fact, right? So in 2002, President Ahmed Tidiane along to the opposition leaders, and interestingly, the opposition leader at that particular point in time, now President Ernest Bai Koroma at the time, right? And then you get Adi Kabo, you get Alpha Khan, you get all them big voices, all those big voices in the APC, they all come together with the support of international partners and then put together this law, what they call the National Security and Central Intelligence Act. Now, so the law is not new. So it's not like President Bureau just come up with a new law, they creep up on people for coming in, for snooping on people arrest people do this. No, also that they don't get anything for doing that at all. Yeah, so it's a completely new law. It is not a new law. It is a very old law. As a matter of fact, when you track down, the entire development, some of the biggest critics of the government at this point in time now, people in fact who don't use the law before. Someone like JFK, Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara, when he did serve as ACC head, if you go sign an MOU, with CISU at the time led by John, right, Commissioner John, for let them try for use stings and warrants that actually provided for within this particular law at the time in the 2002 Act, for letting use them or try for sneak out and then get corruption. Yeah, so it is not. And back in 2017, Alfred Paulo Conte, as well as that time JFK being the act as Attorney General, they tried for the 2017 iteration of it. So they know about it. So they know about the law. It's not a new law at all. In 2023, the current members of the APC Parliament and the SLPP members of the APC Parliament of the Parliament, they all get together and then pass the 2023 law again, which everybody know about. So it's not a new law at all. Yeah, it don't always stay. It don't always stay in existence. Not to anything new where President Bureau they try for bring up.
So, also this contention or controversy they come out now in relation to our president for sign some aspect of it or for sign So, what's actually in this particular issue yesterday in a bone of contention at the moment?
I don't call it contention. I'll call it partly lack of knowledge and then deliberate misinformation. So there are those two things, right? Lack of knowledge, they come off from a failure for read 6 pages of this very short document. Wait on day out, for the longest time. It was gazetted in January, and then they gazetted back a second time in February. They put copies of this at the pigeonholes of every APC parliamentary and SLP parliament, everybody in that parliament. They go through privilege, first reading, second reading, third reading. They ask for public interventions. They ask for people to let them put out statements. In Branch, a couple of other people, Chiefs Council, they all come with with their own position. And this particular bill was then, they take a look at them. And not only one committee to them on this bill, as a matter of fact. Not only the legislative committee, you get the legislative committee, you get the defense committee, you get the security committee, you get the early warning people, and they all sit down on this. So it's not like something that someone's just invented or something that someone's just put together. Yeah. Another thing I want to point out is why this law at this point in time? Yeah. Why? Why are they establishing the state protection service at this point in time? Now think about it. We've had a legal lacuna in the National Security and Central Intelligence Act for the longest time. President Ahmed Tidiane Kaba, after the overthrow me when come, the Brits them advise them. They say make you go get security detail for instance. And at that point in time, what you do was that it been put together a detachment of police officers and then also members of the House Lab. And it's interesting that that close protection group we put together, the head of the close protection group at the time, the current the current Inspector General of Police. Yeah. So you get a very small detachment of the professional security service, and then you get you get a detachment of the ARSLAF. They mean the protector, but they mean they protect President Ahmed Jankaba under what's called MACP, military to civil power. Yes, military to civil power. Now just powers where the president gets where he can invoke in times of emergencies, where he will say, hey, the threats are so much at this point in time that I need the military or sections of the military for help, for help the police for a stop public order or for a situation in which public security is at risk. President Anisbai Kromah came into power in 2007. He decided to continue for use the same MACP, right, for your personal security detail. And what he in fact do, he take up a few steps further. He not only expand, right, this MACP, but what he do is he bring in former servicemen, ex-servicemen, and ex-combatants. He train them, he give them crash training, he give them ranks within the police, he give them weapons, and then put them there now. And then he get more military people and put them there now. So President Bill come apart, and then back in 2022, he sit down and say, there's a legal lacuna here. We have a risk here. We'll play with a big risk. What if another president come, they take all in party thugs, all in party militants, and then he decide for just give them weapons and put them there now. And then we get members of the police, we get members of the military, just tote as many of them, regionalize them, and then tote them and then put them there now. There's a risk. There's a real risk when we go to national security, because one, you end up depoliticize as well as regionalize aspects of the military and aspects of the police, and you bring in people and we don't get any business in security for coming to security. Besides, President Bill say the nature of threats now it don't evolve. Also, like that first step, where the only threat you go face, now where you will get one or two man them, we go to go for go make cool. Also, that not the case. Now you get AI-based threats. Now you get drone threats. You get lone actor threats, right? You get threats from from an extremist violence. You get all sorts of threats where they exist nowadays. You can't cope with all of those cyber threats using the basic skills whether they be police and whether they be soldiers. Don't get me wrong, the police and the soldiers, I've worked with them for the last 8 years. Great professionals, amazing people, really people, people who are eager to learn. But now it's in the ball VIP protection. We need advanced skill levels, specialized skill levels.
So why not do further training for the security established by law constitutionally? We see, it is clear in the provision of the constitution for say the police, the military, and other security apparatus, then take care of the security of this country. So now come up with this and other branch of security. And also like splitting the original security apparatus we provide for by the grown-up.
So when you talk about grown-up, this particular act come up from that same grown-up, right? So anything where the grown-up they present is valid, because once you get illegal constitutional validity.
We've got conflict in terms of implementation. Because we can talk about special. Before now, we have political as BG, send a special security to the name of people way these acts provide for. We forget special security in governance.
I come to that, right? So, a couple of things for just point out. So, number one, the military, that's the ARSLAF, they still continue for doing what they do, which is territorial sovereignty, national borders and defense. They'll still continue doing.
Including protection to the president and the family.
Let me finish.
Close protection.
Not to that level. If you read sections 165, 166, 167, 168 of the National Constitution, not to that level. Not to that level. They're not getting that ruling. The police, the Sierra Leone police, will still continue for the play them normal role for investigations, enforcement, public order, all of this, and the crime, they will continue to forfeit that. Yes? You get the intelligence services, you get IS, you get FISU, you get CISA, they will still continue for the gather intelligence. What the SPS is going to do is going to work with all of those people, get people from them. Because people already populate the SPS, not to foreigners.
So detaching this security from the presidency,
Let me finish.
around the presidency.
Let me finish. You asked 2 questions. I just want to answer them 2 questions. So, the people that we get for constitute members of the SPS, they already constitute members of the SPS. The members of the police, serving members of the police, and serving members of the military, where they come on secondment into the SPS.
Appointed by who? Appointed by who?
Well, so you get an SPS committee. The SPS committee comprises the IG, the CDS, the NS Court, the head of CISA, and then a representative from the office of the president. So these are people who will come together and say, we need X number of people and we're going to get skills here from here. We need X number of people and we're going to get skills here from here. One, bring them into the SPS, then we retrain them, give them those specialized skills so they're able for the serve His Excellency and all the other people that we listed in this particular bill as VIP protection agents.
And the concern, maybe lastly, the concern here is the people they mentioned, and that part 7 with the Understate Protection Service, chapter 2, 1 subsection, chapter 2 subsection 1. Both of us say there shall be established state protection service under the authority of the president, which shall be responsible to provide mandatory proximate protection, 1, for the immediate family of the president and the vice president and their families, and also the following special categories of persons: former president, former vice president, the speaker, the chief justice, ministers, visiting heads of state, other designated very important persons. In fact, in interpreting constitution, we have many. In fact, people like Lord like watch for say, I say we they for corny people. We say an order related, an order. We're very different in defining those kind of things, providing security of this kind of people at the expense of citizens, majority.
Well, think about it. It's being done right now, and it's being done from the consolidated funds. The taxpayers, the parent police, and the soldier, they really protect them right now. You know, I know. It's our taxes. So it's going to just continue. There's nothing special about all of this. There's really nothing special.
More resources. The country is talking about.
How many former presidents you gonna salute?
Forget a lot of former ministers. A lot of former.
No, former minister. Not gonna forget.
Because they are going to say the following under the following.
No. Former minister not gonna forget. Former minister not gonna forget protection. The people them after the legislative committee sit down, they on them with them list. President, vice president, the entire leadership structure, yes, including the majority leader, and then in addition to that, you also get the minority leader of the opposition, and the deputy. They all forget protection. Why? Because these are people who constitute the national leadership, where if at all you affect them in any kind of way, there's going to be instability in the country. So, example, like what you see now, in a place like Rwanda and then Burundi. Once you get state decapitation, all the other forces, they come together and they begin fatwa. We don't have any scenario in this country. Once a situation in which national leadership is kept safe.
But let's say, for instance, hide. We don't see in situation wherein you can provide a security for an opposition somebody because it comes so hard with the government. We don't see a situation wherein they just require money. They say they don't put any security around that.
That is part of the toxic atmosphere where it exists. Which is why we need to have together a professional force, a well-trained professional force. We get specialized skills. We go able to do this across governments. Another thing with this particular act, most people are not give such resonance, has to do with the fact that for you serve and state protection service, you need to be completely neutral and apolitical. And as a matter of fact, the State Protection Service gets a code of conduct. The code of conduct is drawn from the 47 rules of the police as well as the ARSLAF. They come together, then they put that together, and then they put the code of conduct together. What's the code of conduct they do? It shows say if you wear political polo, you own a political rally, you go talk politics, or you go even begin talk any language other than Creole and English. Why should you fraternize with other members or when you do operationally with any member of the State Protection Service? And of course, for letting Rebbe come on at the place.
Okay, quickly, Doc, what this issue here, so where you don't talk about this just now, neutrality, professionalism, now a big concern where people then they raise, because we know in the past the security apparatus where can be assigned to certain government officials, them the loyalty can be for like forever. So if in case for example, there is changes in that of government offices, then they how neutral, how professional the security service owner don't provide or where they in place will continue for day. Because where we want to forget any kind of thing and we forget it right. So how on a work around that one day?
Fabulous question. So Liberia, we the next to we no go consider say as developed as we are in terms of security reform. Liberia gets the EPS, the Executive Protection Service. Yes, it's like the U.S. Secret Service. Then they protect offices, not individuals. They are assigned to offices, not individuals. So when I serve the president, I serve the presidential detail. I know they serve President Biya as a person. So that bond, that link of loyalty, you know, na me and Bobo na work come on at the same village, na me this, na me that. One for break that. And the only way of breaking that is to have professionals, real professionals doing their duties as they're supposed to do their duties. Right? Another thing will be mentioned where I think I need to talk about, which is about close protection group that exists within the Sierra Leone police. It is still going to continue to exist. As a matter of fact, it was put together in 2001 with the RMPs, with the Royal Military Police, where they decide say this element does not even exist in the Sierra Leone police. So let me try to put them together. So they train a core of people. As a matter of fact, we get a few people where they serve the president right now who are trained by the RMPs. Yes? So those guys have those skills. But now you get additional skills where we need, for their protection. So you get, for instance, your protective intelligence and threat analysis and threat awareness. You get advanced and operational planning. You get convoy drills and operations. You get close quarter combat. You get cyber as well as AI mediated attacks. You get new attacks where the old training where they get in 2001, not able for cope with nowadays. Yes? So you get for pump up, those key levels for letting able for cope with them. Besides, Salone gets a very huge sub-regional, international sort of status at this point in time. So at this point in time, President Biya prepare in the next 3 months for making host ECOWAS. You bring about 12 presidents into Salone. If you don't get people already protected, go put OSD there, then
So Salone under threats? Is Salone a security threats?
Threats exist everywhere. Threats exist
Because
everywhere.
the circumstances also, we are in the critics they watch and enact this kind of law. We are just close to elections. And we see what will surround over the years. What will happen? So people will be watching and say, why this time?
What's a good time for it?
And creating this kind of law to protect certain families, living the majority.
The police gets a mandate, yes, of public order, and public enforcement. And that's what they've been doing excellently for the last God knows how many years. VIP protection is being done by select members of the police as well as the military right now. Yeah, so there's nothing that's going to change extraordinarily. And what we need for guard against as a nation is this: if you don't have a professional VIP protection agency in place, what those big guys are going to do is something where you know Golek, and we know Golek, and we Salone no Golek, and we're not good for the progress of Salone. Which is what? They are going to recruit their own private security people. They're going to get thugs off the streets. They're going to get their own party people, their own ethnic people, and they're going to give them arms, to protect them. Would you like that? No, it's not good for Salone.
So the people that were too powerful than the other in the original security forces, the military, the police. The
Powerful.
police going to be powerful.
Powerful in what
In
sense?
terms of functions, in terms of resources, in terms of welfare. You know, in terms of a lot of things we're comparing. Maybe the guy supposed to for maybe enjoy because of this new architecture. You know, therefore gets a resources balance.
No. So think about this, right? It's a very small group. It's a very small group. Yes. Just like I mean,
Powerful.
tell you.
Get to be powerful. A very small group can get more powerful.
Power in what way? With that power they get. Well, then you know they're going to exist near you. You know where you know that they be. As a matter of fact, over the last 8 years, I don't work with you and then I state house in the way in which they even know like the close protection people. We will name up to 5 of them because discretion is one of those things. You know what they do. Their job now risk mitigation. Not to go begin fire or maybe you work like say now when I get power. No, not to that not your job. Your job is let's say for instance President Bio they come inside. We they send advance. They come and look out all the possible risk game. They say, okay, President Bio, we come SLBC, no go so, but just go so and go. And then after that, come down and left. That is what close protection does. It's about risk mitigation. Also like we've seen people that don't project in the past, where people that they hold the biggest guns, you can get the the most wealthy, the most flashy, sorts of things. Besides, at this point in time, waiting a man get like na state also. The man really protect presidents. And just that small allowance then they get to the couple so like a private soldier almost extra you get 500,000. so is I mean when you're on secondment, you're just on secondment, you're being catered for by your you're being catered for by your own parent institution, and that's just what it is. So there's no extra extra power.
So I said, stand for benefits with this new act. So because civil society they call 70% not signed, other lawyers then last society inclusive 70% not signed. But for listening from somebody who is an advisor, a senior advisor to the president, which means by indication, of course, president get for sign this act that will be implemented. So by that, what we get for benefits as a country.
National stability is one. Protecting national governance is another one. Yes? Salon your diplomatic and international reputation. That's all we get foreign heads of state. We have to provide the right kind of protection. We then expect Nigerian country then more even better. So example, we don't get members of Senate. We don't get the Chinese premier. Those guys were highly impressed. We don't get the Senegalese. Prime Minister. They were highly impressed. With the professionalism of the service.
So they don't get that kind of faction compared to the Nigeria right now. They get a lot of faction, they have issues. We might say this kind of law will be necessary because of the kind thing that will happen. That kind of control. Sierra Leone is normal.
SPS not get for go first people. SPS not they do enforcement. SPS not they go gather intelligence about you. SPS not they can arrest you. They don't even get arrest powers, right? SPS no get powers for warrants. SPS no go even come for issue say, hey Brad, he said no.
All right, as we
Yes.
take another guest, Dr. Mwana, whose assurance you give to Salon people and say this special security apparatus therefore be apolitical, therefore be loyal to offices and not individuals.
So it is part of the law. It is stated in the law. If you are a serving member or somebody who associates with any political party, you can't be a member of the SPS. That is one. So even the process of recruitment also is neutral. Yes. So wherein the IG it puts out an advert. From the advert, people they apply, and when they pre-interview. After the pre-interview, then they pre-screen them. After that, they go do medical. When you pass medical, you go do EPT. After EPT, you take exam. When you pass the exam, you go take the course. The course, and by continuous assessment, you fail any module, they drop you. Then you move to the next one. To the final point where you get that crop, right? The best of the best. So you get that, the best of the best. In addition to that, you get command structures. Yes, the State Protection Service is answerable to the State Protection Service Committee, We comprise all the leaders of security institutions in this country, the IG, the CDS, the NS Code, and all of the other people. In addition to that, that State Protection Committee also answerable to the National Security Council. National Security Council, now the president, the vice president, chief minister, all the people in the they're answerable to that. That in addition, and the State Protection Service and the actions of the State Protection Service, part of the feedback we get from the bill is that also for the answerable, you're also supposed to be answerable to Parliament. So the State Protection Service also answerable to Parliament. So if at all Parliament say, waiting the State Protection Service don't do no right, then we invite them and say, on a Parliament, on a answer, right? In the full view of everybody. In addition to that, you also get a complaints tribunal, in which case the State Protection Service also are accountable to the judiciary. So at any point in time, if at all the State Protection Service acts against the rights and liberties of any civilian, that civilian they can even take them up as a tribunal thing, and then present at the or somebody can act on the behalf, and they can go to the tribunal and go account. So people are not immune from prosecution; they are accountable at all levels, at vertical levels, as well as at horizontal levels. Even the code of conduct of the SPS, they hold people accountable also. So this is going to be a professional force, it's going to be a neutral force. People should not be worried about what it is going to do. It is not any extra burden on the state. It's just going to, it is just the fact that there was a legal lacuna where we'll be open to abuse, where we want for correct within a law that is 25 years old, almost a quarter of a century old. So now that one for set right. Why? Saloni for continue for advance. When America began the Secret Service in 1865, nobody remember saying related to today, but they're still there. Yes, Liberia began the EPS in 1921. They're still there. They've gone through civil wars, but they're still serving. Nigeria get the SSS, and they still serve. And they serve one government to the other. You're not even everybody. So people need to open up to this idea. Let us dump this toxic mental attitude. Say, oh, every aspect of security sector reform, and because they have for the ERS people and they go lock people and more. That's not the case, very clearly. And at a personal level, people do not know me much. You would hear the name, but they see me much. I know they talk in public. I'm a very private person. I'm a very quiet person. But I come from from that quiet, disciplined, professional space where I don't associate myself with something that's going to be crazy and stupid and we get for disrupt the future of this country. I obviously would.
Let me say this as a very trained character man. No, you.
Yes. So that is actually very true because I hold a 7-degree black belt in karate.
So they would know.
So all good for the security.
Exactly. I also do Muay Thai and I do all sorts of other martial arts, trained firearms expert. There are all sorts of things about me. But that does not come into play. I mean, the idea here is what we do in state protection services. We prevent risks. We prevent things from happening. If we can prevent it, great. As a matter of fact, the rules of engagement with state protection services, like if at all president they goes on site and they open fire, state protection services now run with the wrong. The police, in the military, they do what they're supposed to do. We know they shoot them, you kill people and all. With the ensure state. Yes, what they call extraction. Right? So like all the drivers then skilled in like J turns, like Rodriguez turns, which means they go mass brake, then they reverse, then they spin the vehicle around, then they take off. That's what they do. Yeah, that is what they're trained for. They're not trained for letting go driving and then the effects. Like that. Yes, like that agents film them. And then the effects when you shoot people. No, not to that. So let people really completely get that off their mind. Salon is a peaceful place. We want to keep it more peaceful. And the way they do that, for ensure saying we protect with national leadership, including the opposition, including also opposition political candidates. Yeah, and it's interesting that most of the opposition political candidates, when they come up, like within the APC, these are really close friends. Like JFK was my classmate. Almost 40 years back. Richard Conte, close friend of mine. And my colleague, I mean, Yvonne was my college mate. These are all like friends. You know, now young people like So the idea of people.
So like your party ideology.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not saying party ideology because you know you guys have membership card, right? I'm just serving the president. In my other life, I was an academic. Yeah, I mean, people that know me as a professor. Yeah, but that's the point that I'm trying to make. This is a civilian-led, professional, non-political, neutral organization that's going to come in to protect those VIPs and with national leadership. So
Okay, that's now Dr. P.K. Mwana from the Office of the President, Advisor to President and Director for the State Protection Service. They talk about the National Security and Central Intelligence Act 2025 will be done. See, according to what it is, say a lot of misinformation may go around that, and it's try for do some clarification. As you don't really inside the program. However, we been start for talk to Mr. Parker concerning the weather, the separated them pull us the seasonal forecast, but now we don't be joined by a civil society person. We also go talk to we concerning the environment. It come up from Environment Alert winner Christopher Michael. Christopher, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we don't they get information from Mr. Parker. We don't tell we how the weather pattern will look like, but we still don't see the environment year in year out. So waiting now on our own point of view.
Yeah, thank you very much. And this is my issue we over and over we talk about protection of the environment from man-made and climate change. These are the issues that really affect your environment. But we know if you go, you say this man is come up for environmental. Okay, fine. This is not an indictment, but we don't see like a full report, right, about waiting there for the forecast for 2026.
Okay, they do that yesterday.
Okay, yesterday.
Yeah, we could be inviting on to allow you late a bit, but don't get the forecast.
Okay, we would expect say okay, this meeting don't come on before because you go now West African meteorological center, they don't pull an earlier, you understand, waiting there for happening, right? So we are disappointed this not come on earlier, but nonetheless, until it don't come on yesterday, sorry, I know me there. I think say the fault take come up from now. I think you forget you right to say some technical issues, so the program on me right.
No.
Okay, I don't know what's the issue we make.
Okay, do you mean today?
Yes, actually this program from Indo go before this time, from Indo host before this time also.
Oh no, so we for me get una today. So now you not come on time because it's 7:15 for today.
Okay, nonetheless, the surrounding environment they always threaten, right? And we expect say we one of the things the way we say, I mean the early warning signs is so vivid. We see where the rain can, we see what they happen, the blockages will happen, we see the quarters and this is until we don't echo over and over again. And we wait till we say that we for work in collaboration. We mantra for use, I think, that the sustainable development goals. We talk about collaboration with all agency, government agency, department, and all facets of society for make sure we try for mitigate the issue there. But we need to see that collaboration from all the different, from all the different areas there to see we work for solving this issue. For example, deforestation is so heavy, it is gone. This actually need all witness and the community coming from regions. We see how prevalent, it is all over the country. If you travel, the Greenbelt area, the right something right now where they develop, like our name safeguarding the Greenbelt area of CIU. Then the breach every day. If you go to Sugarloaf, it was here, you understand, today, but when you go, you find that say they don't move another step backward. And when you ask the people there, we do that, and they say they get legal paper from Ministry of Lands. This is really problem. It really cause problem. If you go to Sussex, just see the Greenbelt area was here today. If you go there, the next time you go, it don't move. And we know the role of forest, right? It help in mitigating the effect of climate change. But this will continue over and over again. We see, it was last year, government when they tried and they cleaned the gutters, right? But the source, now we see the hills, if you go there, now deforestation, they don't cut all the thing away for like all the way for responsible. So at the end of the day, when rain come, all of founders say the rain just they can just like that. The trees then they don't cut it, so the gutters and the flood. So what we say is that, as I say earlier, we mantra for the SDG, and one of I think SDG 17 I talk about 19 collaboration, and we already see such collaboration be happening.
But again,
so we are worried about that.
But again, all this risk only Mr. Pakado highlighted. We also forget flash flood, the heavy rains get for the uneven rain distribution, strong windstorm. You don't measure as scary way people for prepare for embrace for this rainy season. But again, we watch out from another angle. Say this is not collective responsibility in the sense that I don't believe say government like 10% will be imposed on top of the or government like instead no also the gutter don't they more go put dot today on a government like instead. So these are also we attitude towards the environment. Also we get another challenge.
I agree, right? But who that get the power for enforce law, right? Law enforcement, who that get that? A political scientist say energy in the executive is a leading character in the definition of the government. The executive, the topmost executive, right? The whole way they get for play. That's why we always they bring them, you understand? We always they try for put into them. Government you get for do this. And government, not only the central government, the council, let's say get a role for play. If somebody go bill, now Sasa enough for bill. I believe say Ministry of Lands then get the acts and they get prohibited side the way you know for bill. For example, I get the Greenbelt area, right? Yes, citizens they get their necessary responsibility, but the government get the biggest role for play. You find that say because of they not take punitive measures against people, then they continue for do them again and again, and now they cause problem. Yes, we get climate change where now you can't control them for now, you understand, but you can able do something for at least for mitigate in the consequence, right? Make it not go be so make it not go be so disastrous, right? But so if now one day you know go be controller, but government in role way again for play. Now for ensure that people the way they do them thing, they take punitive measures against them. For example, the brother here, you say they don't pull they don't pull
seasonal weather.
Yes, the seasonal weather, right? If they don't pull and say yes, this na so and so get for happen. Wait again get for do. So government for look at places their way na potential, right, for disaster. People they don't eat structures, the outside they know for the they for evict them day. If I say when they left and day now, something happen and die, at the end of the day, who that the blame they go to? The government. So now that's why we they say we mantra for be the SDG. It well crafted, you understand? If you go to the SDGs, it talk about it address all of them things, and then it talk about collaboration. It talk about creating, a city where habitable. It talk about even marine life, a lot. SDG 13 talk about say, for example, take urgent action for climate change. But we need to see that kind of drive there. We as civil society, we always be called, right? Government, ministry, department, and agency to make them do more. And they have the power to do more.
All right, so the government they doing on, but also the ordinary people themselves. Sometimes the government will talk, but I don't know if certain implementation of some measures then we go make the people and not do certain things then. Where, for example, where it can be issue when it comes to season or when they add to climate issues then, because even I learned from Mr. Parker today, say then dirty where they park on the streets or park all over the place. He said they create some fear or something. Yes, where they also yes they do something where they
gas.
Exactly. So we self they do that kind of thing and they ask salon people. Then what more you go say to salon people that way they listen we across the country, or then we know they do that kind of thing and they will be negative impact back to we our society.
Well, we dey say to people then you get for treat your environment with you get for treat am with respect. You get for treat your environment because if you treat am anyway the environment fight back. If you treat am with not disrespect, you don't get respect one, it fight back because any trade they happen, it can affect you back. So this is a message we will send to people out there, but also we say more sensitization will happen. We will make sure say communities they will go down there and take the message. That's why I emphasize on the SDG. We say if we have that collaboration, right, we going to go to them places and they tell them. And so even when government they take some measures against it, they will understand say for their own good rather than see and say.
So if you want to give somebody process message, how them for able for manage their own waste and dirty from that small chewing packet plastic with the jam to that big dirty where you put it inside your house, how them for manage that one because of hotel say the area they will not get dirty box.
This that we can discuss if people then for example they are the way to go market, check how much they spend or buy the item. If you don't do that, why you know go pay back for your waste?
So that because that clean salon and they are
salon you can go
and they take the clean salon dirty put a man a person in the mud.
Fine. So what do they say to people then? For example, now Samba butter, I can go along that side there, even get it. And all day in people then they will I make caution and say the sticker is make sure you don't to you know if people then as I say with them go and get all the items in they must get a small bin at the compound. We could go up on inside. After I don't you can call clean salon, you pay them. And you know if you see almost it is pay to clean salon, sometimes at 2,000, 5,000. But look almost you don't buy anything pay something at 200,000. Why if you even buy anything, why you don't go pay again back for the waste? But rather you take out, you go put a company in the mud, or you take out put a Samba Butter towards Richard Street, you don't flood. Then there's them. So plastic waste, or there was a time died dog all in it. It is stink. But with disappointment we see, even though yes, the people that don't do so, why council, right? Not can be. The people that call the attention of council, they don't do nothing. At the end of the day, the place they stink, they get picking around that area there, it's so bad. So wait till they say if council will come, right? Then take some measures and then try to clean the gutter. Then after that, any person they put people there, they council get people there with their along to monitor the places they need that. As soon as people they can't drop anything, then take them. I mean maybe not taking in course. But you find out say they don't relax. Over the years we see people then
enough for the police people there when they throw the dirty in the streets. So at least we say self enough for even put on the streets as salon people.
I agree the responsibility. Now make we need to put on normal. We need to cast blame, see that they no more get the blame, right? The people then get their responsibility, government as well. But I'm telling you, we live in a society with lawless, where people then they can let for do any kind of thing as they feel. But we live in a country again where people they respect government. As soon as government come they put foot, they find out say people they not get people they adhere to the laws they do. But they can do one, they start, don't stop. So what would they say? Make this thing. I mean, this not an emergency issue. This because we see that is it 2 years back we see how almost life then go, and if we continue, we not try for work, government not try for putting foot down, then we go for lost people again back because people even the build up prohibited areas then. Also, again, an example in the region is find out say some people then they are swamp them that they don't erect them, place them. Then at the end of the day, when something happen, just now they begin cry saying that this and that. People in the build. One of the I talked to the former Eduma region. He tell me what happened about us 1940 something. Where they lost so many people there. I think this same what thing happened about me. So it happened. It tell me, but then tell me the population is small. But now it happened again. We fear that maybe this not happen again back.
Okay.
we for make sure say we get this say never again. But how that will happen? Now we will take frantic measures for protect the environment.
All right,
and
thank
this not to
you.
one side. This is not a collaborative something.
All right, thank you so much, Christopher Michael from Environmental Alert. We insert the join voice concerning how for treat the environment as we look at the 2026 rainy season forecast. Well, we go take another story quickly, so we go now, Nabo.
The Institute for Languages and Cultural Studies, Najala University, they celebrate now the institute in week and also they started the 7th of this month and they stay them continue and get for Poland na the Bo campus day. They say the celebrations will bring together different celebrity them like Ambassador Caldinero, Ye, Ami Kalon, and more other people and we get for day around we get for kind of public lectures. We inside the team and get for talk other for leverage modality for many will revive the Sierra Leone tradition and culture and language. We come when Abdul Fattah Bundu by Kamara, they talk to the musical icon and serve the university administration inside this interview.
Since the history where you don't sing music, you don't into music, and how you feel with the kind way they already for change music for you?
Well, that is fine. The one of my word, the people na do ya, not to me one day. After me, would I go there? They begin they learn, then they go school, but do ya the culture, let us not forget them. Do ya? At the time, do ya? Una sorry for me. Why not go school? Now the obey na make. What I put the uniform, I go sit down in class, me mama go tell me, say, let's go na farm. If you now people there, they don't go do that. Now that, but as I be book, as the truth then I be mind, I know that pass me. As I be God, tell una do ya, make una not left sit down. No for say what picky they sing, you know the land. They picky they all, then they go school. Now me one day not go school. Una there na that place they do ya. Una bring me can do ya Jala College, do ya university, do ya una help. Now they do something what they left na legacy.
Now you and Cow, where then they say that hip hop artists and you they sing with culture and now na able match. How this not help for make it change salon music and salon culture?
Well, that anything where fashion panam, land self we don't create. You go school camp, we not study, you not go left na mind. Anything way for that, not to thing way they benefit you, way lekker, what go help you. Now that I know.
We talk on and cultural music them. You no go complete right now without measuring the act of Bobby P.
And then Bobby P. Bobo Sakpa. Sembe unestoka Moyamba D streets.
What this mean for you?
Well, I agree over that. I know for say we culture be what die, Bobby na me call her home. Na me na the life. After a war, the Mende music all don't die. Na me call the home. And I play with Yama. They to the Yama they play. Because why I not talk no inch wall or in the dawn. Step by step. So today I agree over that. We are Kanjala University. Everyone way they sing. Sing like Bobby P. How they sing, they minimize and we cause no they no go feel by how the song they can. If you not real artist, man the culture, that's why you go sing. No any care we supposed to go let I go to for play. Artists with them music you don't make and if you not play. Now you.
Thank you very much. And I deal with the other person we deal with them now the team and we na Odule we they represent the team the culture. Odule, you said be part of the team song we then do and you able sing in team ne the other one and they sing in Mende or other tribe them but you able match up with hip hop artists. How this don't help for change and promote the cultural style where you say they sing?
Iye kobulo koro ala kobulo angashama na ponga difi kala bada pukere chome ba kobula dafina pukole na temine chawo panenu ba na wachimi chawo panenu limba chawo panenu na shosho chawo panenu na fola chawo panenu mena la baduli ganga bia district tono yin ayi no bo ma linga ne mi yan chinu ga gobone shuanjem chakiyan to fanye ko promotion o woni masla na ftane gole soto o yin promotion tangu ku shaba o shoni so wale geng bidada na won to magadian kache ka chike sala.
Well, that's na Odule we just talk to with people them in Timne and we get the one self way na the hip hop artist where they here as Ambassador Dennis Amara Toure. How you feel for being selected for be part of the team for deliver a public lecture?
Well, it's always a blessing, you know. Definitely, I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks to Jalan University. We look forward for more opportunities. Them, you know, I always like for express myself beyond music, for show people and say yes, we can able standing ground and they, you know, shout out to all the students, them, you know, the lecturers, them, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity. I was happy to be here. I'm still.
Okay, so tell me the blend of music we they on right now for look at modernity and for leverage them with Sierra Leonean culture, and what you make of this?
Well, you know, I've been on the drum since inception. You know, if you listen to songs like Yagbadem, when a Bubu fused with hip hop, you know that the first Bubu or Super Bane, you know, I rap and Timini, I always get that vision. But this one very special because the posse with Deep Panam and posse like Mama Ami Kalon, and you get posse like Odule, you know, this is Mende and Timini coming together as one. Yeah, you know what I mean? They get a message. They get a very strong message. And Odule Invest, they talk, say, if you not Limba, Loka together, they call other tribes, if you not Fula, Loka together. It's about unity, you know, it gets a very strong message where we want to transcend. And people just the small one, the teaser who left out, they don't embrace already. I think that a monumental song. Me staying in America, I understand, say, you have to be original. You know, they respect originality, you know, and that's what I'm yearning for now.
Alright, well, we'll find it for now for entertainment. Now, quickly, we hear from Mr. Parker. What you go be your final shot? Which message you will left?
So yeah, the final one has to do firstly the recommendation and also just do quick clarification to the brother says one thing we go from is when it comes to digital forecast in Africa, not to the African regional developer. Now we the co-developer, we are part of it. It was just developed last week. I was attending the meeting because na chat. And then secondly, you need to be a forecast before the season, like 1 month ahead, because we don't take all the predictors. It will go for mature and go for make it one. And it very much mature towards the end of April. And that make all over the world, Africa, to be precise, for the rainy season, and inside May the launch out. So the recommendation to the people is one. Firstly, made the idea to be focused on the come from the TDMC or for the push out to get website, the sms.com to TSL, we get WhatsApp messages, we send to people them, and also we get a Facebook page, when they listen to that, and then only they occupy them front phone areas, they go find 11 places and they because enough it's for them, because when it's in front phone areas, you already exposed some of them and they will happen. And then also to all of the CSOs and all that day into climate change or environmental issues. It's better always when they try for collaborate with we, so that the information will be readily available to them and also ready for collaborate. And we will find for no say even after the launch, because every year it's not the first time we're doing it. Every year we launch our first day of the journalists then, because they are the first point of contact. By next week, in fact, we will launch now on NDMA. We are in all departments and agencies will be there, and then thereafter, you know, they just end by Snap Focus. Snap Focus are just for everybody act or prepare themselves. Going forward now, we give the 7 days forecast, daily weather forecast, and also the weather alert, so people will for try for cope with the changing trends.
I thank you so much, Gabriel Parker, we are Deputy Director General and Head of Operations at the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency, OETM, for joining our morning copy. We appreciate you. All right, we also come quickly to Christopher Michael. What we going to from Christopher? Yes, Christopher.
Yes, what you see is that
go ahead.
Mr. will join where I was waiting to see people that are here to warnings and we then give them for common marine disaster from areas there. In fact, you can continue to lead them on loss their life and properties. Yeah, we're waiting to see in back we need more collaboration. As I always hold this point that the SDGs will be matter. We talk about collaboration, departments and agencies, every facet of society to fight this issue of environmental problem and climate change. So therefore do more so that we will get this collaborative work and we will cast this message, we will cascade it to every people in our society because we know for still loss of life.
Thank you so much, Michael, from Environment Alert, Christopher Michael. Well, we company Abdul Kabir for sports updates. Good morning, Abdul.
Good morning. Plenty thank you for getting me. Tomorrow, all roads will lead to Bo. We will see the official crowning of Mobemo Queens as the champions of the Women Premier League. Well, then we crown them for the 310 in the warning of the league after the league don't run for 410. Mobemo Queens will get the official opportunity tomorrow as they go crown them and give them a cup, give them a prize money, and this will happen at the Southern Arena inside Bo City tomorrow. So congratulations in advance to Mobemo Queens and then officially crowned them tomorrow the champions of the Women's Premier League. Now to another interesting development inside the world of wrestling. Sierra Leonean US-based wrestler winner Gabriel McDuffie don't win silver for Salona the championship inside Egypt. Well, they get a podium finish inside secure medal, they can second. This means the Salone ranking wrestling don't improve and the world as well they recognize the good work of Salone inside wrestling. So according to Gabriel, they say this is an opportunity where you always look forward to for represent Sierra Leone as in people and come up from Sierra Leone. In based in America, I say this name good. Also, the president of the Salone Wrestling Association, Reina Prince Wale, will double as well as the president of the National Olympic Committee. So this is like a good achievement for Salone. And this they come at a time when the country they prepare for the Commonwealth Games, the 2026 Commonwealth Games at Glasgow. They say this guy for position Sierra Leone for get medal and improve in terms of representation. Inside football, we still follow the investigation where the FA they carry on with. We have to do with the Star Sports Academy and the Eastern Lions FA Cup match will not be done. 86 minutes will be seated for it will take place in the SLFA Academy. According to the FA, they say they still work on the investigation. When once they put out the necessary findings from that investigation, they will make the listeners they know and waiting to happen from the FA. And also Arsenal and PSG, we almost are able to play the final at Champions League. And they therefore be a very big battle on the 20th of this month in May. They therefore take place inside Hungary, Budapest. And an interesting competition where everybody look forward to. The last time Arsenal go final in 2006, and then 10 a day you can get Terry and other players. Also Barcelona will beat Arsenal 2-1. So plenty of people they say this is the moment for Arsenal for make or break because Arsenal never win Champions League. We don't go to the final once. This is another opportunity. For the first time in 20 years, we get another opportunity. But that's all I get in sports.
Well, thank you so much, Abdul Kabir. Well, we'll take some few text messages. Good morning, David and Ibrahim. Say plenty thank you for this Friday edition. We in Apple for being part of the final edition, Joseph Munda Kano. This one say Mr. Ike Moana. Say thank you so much for everything. We go left the program here so for today, and also we will say plenty thank you for joining me in the program. And so say next week we want to say thank you to Stephen Daramola and Jiral Sisi Sali Kutama and Ahmed Kamar DJ Goldfinger. My name is David Agaba. I wish you a lovely day.
My name is Ibrahim Samuel, and I thank you for listening.
Bye bye.